shepherds, welcome back. And if you're new here, hello. This is where we talk all things sheepy. My name's Megan, and today we're going to visit another farm. Some of you may be familiar with this farm, but for those of you who've never seen it, Shelburne Farms is a working educational farm where they focus on sustainable agricultural practices in Shelburne, Vermont. It's a historic farm where people of all ages can learn about sustainable agriculture, take guided tours throughout their dairy barn, cheese facility, and pet some fluffy and not so fluffy farm animals. I've heard they had sheep, but to get to them first, we need to hop on a tractor ride. You can walk to the main farmyard, but tractor rides are so much fun. It's a super bumpy ride, and I'm having a hard time stabilizing the camera, so I hope you can see okay.
They're all in the same path.
The parking is free, and the entrance cost is on a donation basis. I see Oreos in the distance. How about you? Those tall red carts are hay wagons, and a lot of farmers use them as a type of mobile shade. And it looks like there's a truck there with a water tank for mobile water stations. Underneath the wagons are a lot of sheep. I don't even know how many are there. How about you? Pulling into the main farmyard, there are several buildings. A bakery, a farm cart, the farm store, cheese facility, and petting area. And it looks like there's some classes going on outside currently. It's a bit more crowded than I thought it would be initially, so I thought first we could find all the sheep and then relax wandering around the buildings when it's at peak heat. Starting off, we're headed to the children's farmyard, and there's two cute dairy calves and an older dairy cow. It's been so long since I've been around the standard dairy cow, even the calves look huge. The staff here are so nice and really helpful in answering any questions that I have. Right next to all these cows are some lambs, and I asked the staff about the sheep, and she mentioned how these guys are 5 months old, forest clunes. I've seen forest clunes in fiber festivals, but never as gregarious as these three. Usually they're resting at the festivals, so it's really nice to get up and close. Some of the kids here were having fun, leaving handprints in their wool. They said it's because they're so soft and squishy, and they are super sweet lambs. Exploring further, there are some fiber bunnies, super cute. And leaving the building, we're greeted by some Nubian dairy goats. What other breeds do you see here? Behind the farmyard by the bus is a few more sheep. I see some forest clune, but I'm not too clear on what sheep breeds are. The staff said they're a mix of several breeds. What do you think? I think I see some Dorset, but I can't quite make out the rest. Right next to these guys is a pair of donkeys. Not sheep at all, but still cute. I love their noses the most, and there's even some forest piggies too. So let's explore the forest. There are several trails throughout, and this looks like a sugar shack. I'll have to check the events, but in early spring, I bet they have some sugaring parties. All those tubings connect the maple trees and collect the sap in the spring. I'm not sure what this stick fort is, though. And there's an inn far off in the distance. It doesn't have any livestock there, though, so we're going to keep on walking. Dotted throughout are more sheep and cows. This farm and their trails cover almost, I think, about 1,400 acres. So it's really easy to spend a whole day here, hiking, petting livestock, eating local snacks at the bakery and food cart. The trails are really well maintained, and it's so much fun to hike around. And then popping around the corner, there's another flock of sheep and cattle. I love how the sheep, especially when they're in larger groups, really show that flock or mob mentality. But ironically, from various studies, the mob mentality works more like that in Monty Python's show, with the autonomous collective rather than the singular pack leader. I'll put links in below. There's several benches throughout the trail to take a rest if you need and watch the flocks graze. The dairy here is so peaceful, but I think we'll have to book a tour to see it next time. So now that we've hiked a bit, it's time to head back to the main farmyard and explore the buildings. It took us a couple hours to hike, so let's recharge. The tractor driver said that there's some grilled cheese sandwiches at the food truck-like place, and most of the ingredients are locally made. The cheese is house-made. I already tried a sample of their 3-year-old cheese and a 1-year-old cheddar, and both are really good. They have so many samples of cheese around, it really hits the spot. And I love their cheese facility. Look at all that cheddar, and they give tours too. There's so much to do here, and right now they're having a hand milking class, if you will. So naturally I popped on over to see what's up. Unfortunately, I'm hobbit sized, so hopefully you can see well. But the big girl from earlier is the teacher cow, and the staff said that they don't milk the sheep here, but they do use them for wool and meat. I really liked how they pick a staff member who really knows what she's talking about. Her milking advice is top notch. And I thought it was really sweet how she's giving one-on-one instruction on how to milk, talking about the ethical farming practices and dispelling any mystery around milk handling and livestock handling that may cause fear in people, such as the iodine T-tip, how it may look scary, but it helps the cow stay healthy. And they made it look really fun to milk. So all of these activities are free, which is really hard to find in these days. And after watching everyone milk for a bit, we stopped by the food cart to get a bite to eat, a couple of drinks, and some bird watching. Shelburne Farms is super close to Burlington, so after snacking, we left to check out some of the bookstores, walk around some more, and pick up dinner at the always full Asian market. I found Burlington to be a bit expensive to eat in, so I like how the grocer has some hot meals that are really filling for under $10. What's your favorite eats there? So thank you so much for joining me on this sheepy adventure. I hope you enjoyed seeing all those sheep. Do you think you'd enjoy a hike with a sheep-speckled view? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, I appreciate you. Until next time, stay soft, stay fluffy, and stay true to you. Ta-tas!